actually the way to watch the content that you now have inside of iTunes, your movies that you purchase, the shows that you purchase, that music you've got inside of iTunes, those photos you have in iPhoto, and stream them wirelessly to your television set. Many times when we're at home, you know, the amount of times I know that I'm with my friends, everyone's got to crowd around the computer to look at all of our cool things, like our movies and our pictures. We've wanted to change all of this. This is why we've created Apple TV. Now, I unfortunately cannot get what is happening on that screen up here because we hooked up our Apple TV directly to the screen. It has to be connected to a screen. Unfortunately, it can't really be connected to this one. But we can still work with it this way. What I'm going to show you how to do in the next few minutes is take all that great content on your Mac and get it over there. So, very simply, Apple TV, in a way you can think of it, it's kind of like an iPod for your TV. Taking all that good stuff that's already inside of your computer, only wireless. So let's get started. How do I make it work? Well, again, like I said, this is a little bit of an experiment. I'm not quite wired properly for it, but it's going to be exciting no matter what. Right now, you're looking at this screen right here. This is my Mac Pro. This is my computer that I've got right in front of me. I have a little laptop set up over here. One thing that is so cool about the Apple TV is that if you ever had a friend come over with a laptop saying, hey, you know, I would love to show you this cool picture I've got this great music. Can we stream it to your TV with that great sound system? I'm going to show you how to do that. Say when your friends comes over, they got something cool on their laptop, they want to automatically stream to your television. I'm going to show you that too. Again, experiment. But it's really cool. So I might even want to switch from time to time to our, yeah, there we go. Right now you're looking at my laptop, which I've got it right over here. I'm going to switch back and forth from my laptop to my desktop. So that's how we'll be able to tell the difference between the two. I'm just sort of switching from my screen to screen. So we'll start here with my Mac Pro. Now right over here is the Apple TV. It's already set up. As soon as you plug it in, as soon as you plug it into the computer, to the television set, to your HD TV, it immediately begins to warm up and ask you, okay, is there a wireless network around? Found it. Want me to use it? You'll simply hit yes. Now we've already done that process, but now right now we're kind of on a screensaver. I'm using my little Apple remote that comes with Apple TV. If you've ever seen a remote before and the myriads and copious amounts of buttons, this is going to obviously be a very nice, fresh sort of outlook on your new devices. So let me show you how it works. Now obviously just look over here. If you can't see, I'll just tilt it a little bit. This is what you see immediately. You see that you have access to any movies that you've got in iTunes, any TV shows, music from iTunes, even podcasts that you downloaded, photos from your iPhoto library, settings and sources is what we're going to use to get this connected to there. So let's do that first. Let me open up my iTunes library on my Mac Pro. Okay, so here's iTunes. So what I'm going to want to do is go to my sources. Now keep in mind, I have a wireless network connection going on, just right over here that only we have access to that's password protected. So when I hit my sources, I just hit my play button, by the way. Kind of if you ever had a shuffle, it's like an iTunes shuffle. I right now want to connect to new iTunes. I haven't connected to my iTunes library yet, so I'm going to hit play. This little number, in a couple of seconds, see what happened? Apple TV has popped up in my devices. Can someone read off that number to me? Anybody? 7? Wait. 77603. Return. Verifying. Okay, cool. It's found it. So watch. If I hit OK, Apple's Mac Pro, right there. Got it. What I'm doing right now is streaming everything in my iTunes library to my television set. So if I hit play on here, it's going to see that it's loading. It's just connecting to it. And if it takes more than 5 seconds, oh good, we're already there. Now watch. See my favorites playlist up there? Let's go to music. I'm just hitting my down button, hitting play. Let's go to my playlists. Are my favorites. Everything that's up here is now over there in real time, streaming wirelessly through my internet connection. So cool. So I can listen to those. And by the way, look how cool it looks. Those are all my album art on all my music. But I actually kind of want to back up. I want to show you something kind of nice. Straight away, let's back up a little bit. So I've got my music. What about my podcasts? I've actually got a couple of podcasts in here. I've got 9 of them. Actually, 9 new episodes. I've got one called Food Guru, Learn to Podcast. So let's take a look at my podcasts. There they are. Learn to podcast. Oh, actually, wait, let's go back up. See this little image that shows up? Let's watch this. Let's hit play. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure that my audio is set up properly. Again, this is kind of an experiment. Just loading up and grabbing it. So let me make sure the volume's not too loud when it does that. Give it a second or two. Well, since this is a video podcast, I don't want to wait.
Hi, I'm Peter Hahn, the Food Guru, and today I'm going to...
I know it's coming through here, which is confusing, but just because I set up the sound to come through here.
Called lemon chicken.
So good, so I'm watching my video podcast on my TV?
And it looks just like this.
Let's go back. So I could watch my Learn to Podcast podcast. By the way, if you don't even know what a podcast is, go to your iTunes store. There's videos that will show you how to do it and how to make them. It's free. There's the NPR 7 a.m. broadcast. I might want the news summary on my TV. Maybe I, only like NPR. I might not want to watch Fox News or CBS. I love NPR, but I don't have an NPR station, obviously. I might want to watch that on my TV instead. So I download it as a podcast. It downloads every single day because it's a podcast. I might want to listen to it on my TV. So cool. Let's go back. And by the way, again, I'm just hitting my menu button to jump back to the menus. There's a little tiny menu button. Up, down, left, right, and play and pause. So that's kind of cool. I've got my podcast. Let's watch some movies that I've purchased. If you go to the iTunes store, you're going to find hundreds and hundreds of movies from the likes of Pixar, the likes of Disney. I believe Paramount has added all their movies too. In fact, you know what? While we're at it, let's visit the iTunes store. Well, let's see how they look. Let's watch our movies. Again, hitting my play button. Theatrical trailers. Again, since we're using the internet right now, I'm streaming what's on here to what's over there. Movie trailers. This is actually going to access the QuickTime site. If you go to apple.com/QuickTime to watch movie trailers, I might want to watch them on my big screen TV rather than my tiny computer. It's up to you. I'm not going to do that though. Here, this is neat. Cool, these are some videos that I've purchased. Again, and all I have to do is hit play. So let's go back, hitting my menu button. TV shows, I've got those. I purchased TV shows. I know people, actually someone who works here. He doesn't even own a cable. He doesn't want cable. He just purchases all the songs he likes and all the movies and the videos that he likes and the TV shows. It actually saves him some money. The amount of money that he spends just purchasing his favorite shows is less than what he would spend on cable. So I can look at iTunes top TV episodes. Prison Break, might want to watch them. So you get the idea. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking what is on my computer and streaming it wirelessly to my television set through a tiny little Apple TV, which is right, in case you can't see, over here. So, let's say my friend comes over. Let's say my friend Jimmy comes over, he's got on his laptop this really great podcast, and I actually don't really feel like downloading it myself, but he really wants to show it to me. I've got a laptop right over here, and I've actually connected it to that screen. So let's switch over to our friend's laptop and stream from that. And let me make sure I'm going through. Okay, so now what you're viewing up here is my friend's laptop, and I'm actually going to open up his iTunes library. Okay, so here's his iTunes. Now let's say he comes over and he makes an Apple TV mix. Well, you know what? Let's add his laptop to our list of sources and stream that too. Because he's on our wireless network, if we use a wireless network, anybody in proximity to that wireless network can jump on. So let's select a new iTunes. Let's connect to one. Hitting my play button just to select it. Okay, over on my laptop in a couple of seconds what we'll see, hopefully. Oh, let me make sure I'm even connected to that network. Where do I think I am? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds. Go through to my iTunes preferences, make sure. Notice, by the way, you have iTunes preferences here. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds. Again, this is an experiment. Let's back up. Let's go back and do it one more time. Connect to iTunes. As soon as you see a number, there we go, got it. So cool. So now I see on my laptop that Apple TV is trying to connect to it. So, on my laptop, can someone read off the number to me in a moment? I'm going to go up to my laptop preferences. Oh wait, sorry. Click on the Apple TV. Click. Someone read off that number to me? You were good at it before. 55, 832, 34. Okay, so now we're ready to take all the content on our laptop and stream it to the Apple TV. Notice Apple's laptop has already appeared. So let's hit play. Let's load it. So what it's doing right now is looking at the iTunes library on my laptop and everything in it, including even photos and neat things that are in there too. So let's see, he had this really cool podcast that he just downloaded, Mac Tips Daily, which by the way is a great little podcast. But you know what? Let's see, he goes, oh, you know what? There was this great tip there that I heard yet, but I haven't downloaded it yet. I'm gonna go to the iTunes store on our laptop right now. You can actually watch as I do. We're gonna download a podcast right now. And it's just gonna be up here a couple seconds later. So let's access our iTunes store. How do we download a podcast? Very simple. Wait for your internet to bring you there. Okay, so where do I find podcasts? Well, luckily since podcasts are free, they're really easy to download. Right here, I'm gonna select it. Now that Mac Tips Daily, that one's really good. It's very short, so it's gonna go really fast. I just showed you, obviously screensavers, they protect the screen. They refresh the light to keep it healthy. This is Apple. We're gonna make something that's like a utility, something useful. We're gonna make that beautiful too. And Paul, do you have a favorite one? Albums. Let's hit play. Now albums, what I saw, if I actually preview this for us now, hitting my play button. It's good to, I know it takes a couple seconds to load in. All that beautiful album art that you have inside of iTunes that shows up right over here, it's automatically, after a certain amount of time, gonna show you all these beautiful pieces of album art that are attached to your music. This is just another way to make your home as elegant technologically as you can. Apple TV is just sort of a good way to do that, obviously. So I'm gonna hit any button on my remote just to get us back to our menu. So again, we can either go back to our sources. Let's say, right now, that was a great podcast, Jimmy, thanks so much. Close up your laptop. I'd kind of like to show you this cool movie I've got inside of my Mac Pro. Play. So it's just zipping from one machine to another to another. Got it. Great. TV shows? Let's watch some. iTunes top episodes. Cool. Play. Again, I can go through, I can click play. South Park, love it. The Office. You can think of it, honestly, the way that this really helped me understand what this was, if an iPod could be wireless, and that iPod could hook up to your television and play true 1080i HD, and also all those beautiful images. We haven't even taken a look at those yet. Let's take a look at some images. Do we have any? Oh, I don't know if we have any on our Mac Pro. Let's see. Music, TV shows, movies. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we do. Let's see if we have any on our laptop. Let's go back to our sources. Hitting play, connecting to our laptop. We're gonna give it a couple seconds. Oh no, unfortunately we don't have any images. We're gonna have to get some image on. So that's what we need to put on. Yeah.
I came a little late, I'm just curious.
Sure.
You can adjust whatever's on the internet, whatever you're using on your computer, you can put it on the website, on there as well.
Could you have a website on there as well? Not necessarily. What it's doing is it's looking to iTunes, again, kind of like an iPod. An iPod looks to iTunes but can bring in more than just music. It can bring in photos, it can bring in movies. This is an iPod for your TV, and the only difference is it's wireless now. Honestly, what it comes down to is a lot of surveys tell us that you guys are really getting very tech savvy. You're getting far more than we even thought to begin with. And a lot of people have these beautiful HD TVs now, and they tend to crowd around their computers when they want to look at their photos. They tend to crowd when they want to listen to their music. When they've got this great, huge, beautiful machine in their den, it's how to send those things we could send to iTunes, like photos and podcasts and songs. Only send it to your TV now, and in a beautiful environment. Like that's what it is. So it's not necessarily hooking onto. You got it, yeah. It's not necessarily a browser, it's just accessing a wireless signal to send these things to our Apple TV.